Um, how did you come to? I mean, your book on Yiddish autobiographies is sort of, the groundbreaking in that no one really did this sort of genre of autobiographies in Yiddish before. So how did you come to that project, and what was interesting to you about the genre of autobiography?
Well, that's a very good question. I mean, I think it has to do with what I was grappling with. I mean, for me, it was a big, I mean, I made a big move. I left my country and I moved to the States, and I was not a kid when I did it. And it was also, I mean, it was a big change for me. And what really kind of drew me to these autobiographies was that I realized that a lot of the Yiddish writers, they have been through even more radical transformation and in terms of migration, in terms of war, in terms of fleeing pogroms and then the Holocaust, surviving the Holocaust and things like that. I realized that that was a very dominant theme of modern Yiddish literature, and many so-called fictional work were actually disguised autobiographies. The authors were trying to come to terms with this kind of tumultuous life they had lived and break up of traditional social patterns and things like that. And particularly the migration is a really significant part of my interest in this genre, and which, I mean, how do you come to terms with your own life story and your own background when you suddenly are transported 4,000 miles away, and you don't have any contact with your family, and in some cases your family have perished. How do you maintain some kind of how do you describe that? How do you come to terms with that? How do you understand that? And I think that's why we have such a rich genre of, I call it life writing, where writers use this genre to really kind of ponder these issues and do it in a literary form that really spoke to a lot of readers. And it was dramatic, it was captivating, and it was about real people, right? And I think that's also what really pulled me in that direction. And this is, of course, not only a Yiddish or Jewish phenomenon. This is a globalized phenomenon, and it's become the dominant, I was saying, pattern nowadays, where people are moving around, and migration and uprootedness and trying to maintain some kind of connection to your own native culture and language. Those things are very important today, globally. And I saw Yiddish as a kind of like, as a microcosm of that condition of the globalized world. And that globalized, I was part of that globalized world. I saw something I could kind of, this was my academic work, but it was also something that really I used to understand some of my own issues in a way.